Hope Springs Eternal by John Culkin. We have crawled agonisingly through November's murky wetness and into the waiting freezer of December. But at least when December comes to an end, there will be an opportunity to get drunk and drown our sorrows in a sea of New Year's Eve alcohol. So January the 1st brings a massive hangover, which only serves to make the wait for the spring even more painful. There are still many weeks of frost, snow, black ice and fog to endure. So we sleepwalk into February, and spirits are nearly broken from the lack of sunshine. February might as well just be another 4 weeks attached to January. Would it make any difference if January was 8 weeks long? I think not. Would anyone care? It's just more of the same freezing weather. Buses, trains and aeroplanes can't operate because of the snow, ice, wind and all the other weather phenomena, which always seems to be a surprise to the companies that run the services on which we all rely. And so, the country comes to a juddering halt, despite the fact that we have stumped up a small fortune in taxes for services that have been put on ice, so to speak. But let us cease from all this whinging. March approaches. Surely now winter is consigned to history. From the kitchen window I can see the green shoots of daffodils and crocus. Even a few hardy weeds have fought their painful way through the frost-hardened ground. Above the tree line at the back of my house, the sun peeps through the bare, straggly branches of ghost-like trees. At last, I think, the fabled spring is upon us. After a few hours of warm early morning sunshine, a couple of flies believe it is hot enough to venture out from wherever they had spent their winter months. Birds have begun twittering, and 2 frogs in the garden pond deem it warm enough to begin the creation of pond life. A couple of equally brave butterflies have begun a tumbling courtship dance, convinced that the sun has flown back from its winter holiday in the southern hemisphere. So the wife begins to make plans for our summer holidays. Early spring sunshine does that to her. It's only March, but the premature heat emanating from a sun in an azure sky puts a smile on faces which only days before were a sad pasty white with the winter blues. The sky is that crystal blue colour that we associate with June. Clouds are banished as if they never existed. The weatherman on telly says the high pressure over Great Britain will remain with us for the next week or 2. He wishes. She arrives home from a shopping trip and empties the carrier bags, which are full to bursting point with summer clothing, onto our kitchen table. This will be great for my holiday, she informs me as she holds up a flowery dress. Then she dangles a pair of grotesque and similar flowery shorts in front of my disbelieving eyes. These should fit you. We're going to look great. I recoil in horror. No way am I wearing them bloody things, I growl. Besides, I've still got my cut-down denims from last year. She smiles triumphantly. I binned them last week. I groan loudly. So my enthusiasm is less than enthusiastic. We are not going on holiday until August, I tell her. Trust you to be a killjoy, she snaps back at me. Why can't you be happy? The sun is shining. Summer's here at last. I shrug my shoulders dejectedly. It's not summer. It's still only March, and there's a lot of bad weather to come before the real summer gets here. Snatching up the beachwear, insect repellent and countless tubes of suntan lotion factor 30, she scowls and stomps her way up the stairs. She deposits all things summery into the wardrobe until they are ready to be rescued from the darkness of the said wardrobe in August, when the summer is really here. Night falls, revealing a cloudless sky, and a billion stars blink back at our world. The moon is hanging in the darkness like a huge disc of ice. The telly's meteorological expert informs a disappointed population to prepare for yet another hard frost. As expected, this puts the block on any further intrusions by creatures who, like my wife, think one sunny day in March heralds a 6-month heatwave. My scepticism in the BBC weatherman's forecast is now fully justified, as usual. In the days and nights that follow, A shrieking easterly wind finds its way from the steppes of Russia, and England shivers. The careless insects that braved our warm patio on that painfully fake spring day have gone, maybe frozen to the ground during a foolish act of copulation. The ice, which has once again formed over the garden pond, has put pay to the amorous shenanigans of the frogs. Plants that were taken from cosy kitchen windowsills and introduced into the garden now lie forlorn and frozen in solid ground. Already they have joined the botanic world's endangered species. She gives me that pitiful, pained look. Of course, it must be my fault. Of all the seasons, spring is the most disappointing. It promises so much and delivers so little. My overcoat has been retrieved from its shadowy home beneath the stairs. Thick woolen gloves and stout rubber boots are recovered from the depths of my garden shed, until once again I'm ready for the eventual onset of spring, whenever it arrives. Springtime, bah humbug.